The 2009 football season was certainly a tremendous one for us. We had high expectations coming in, very senior-laden class, a lot of experience, a lot of returning starters, some four-year starters, and we really didn't disappoint. And we had a very strong opening, winning our first 8 games. We took a step back in our 9th game against Del Val, and one of the things I was really most proud of our guys about was the way we bounced back from that. Week 10, a game against Lebanon Valley. It was certainly a rivalry game for us, as they're only 45 minutes away. Not to mention that both of us were 8-1, coming into that game, and everybody was aware. Our coaches, our players, their coaches, their players, all the fans, everyone was well aware of what was at stake in that game. The winner would likely get an NCAA bid, and the loser would not. So certainly a big game, and we're down 23-0 halfway through the third quarter without our starting quarterback. And we came from behind to force overtime, which then went to double overtime. And then, to win it in double overtime the way we did, it really propelled us into the playoffs. To go into the first round as an underdog, traveling to Alfred, again falling behind at halftime, coming from behind to win that game. Again with our backup quarterback, as our starter got hurt first play of the second half. And then going back to Delaware Valley, second round of the playoffs, again as the underdog to the team that we had just lost to 3 weeks earlier, and to pull out a huge upset, 27-3 victory, over them. Again, down at halftime, coming from behind in the second half to pull that one out. And then advancing all the way to the national quarterfinals to get an opportunity to face Mount Union. Unfortunately, it didn't finish the way we wanted to, but, first time in school history, an Albright football team has won 11 games. First time in school history, Albright football team has made it to the third round national quarterfinals. So, certainly we broke through some barriers there, and I think all of those things give us some momentum, going into this season. We kind of broke some barriers. I think of Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile. Everyone thought it was unattainable, and thereafter people say, oh, this is possible, and everyone starts running in under 4 minutes. And I'm hoping to get a similar type of effect with our players. And that, I'm not sure that they thought it was possible we could make it to the quarterfinals, because we had never been there before. But once you break through that barrier, things that maybe once didn't seem possible, now they seem within reach. And while we're going to be younger, we're going to have some new faces this year, I think that we got a lot of confidence that was built from that run that we had, and that carried into the off season, and I feel like it's going to carry us into this season as well. Well, actually, our goals really never change year to year. We've got program goals and we've got season goals. Our number one program goal is to reach our full potential. Secondly, we want no off-the-field incidents from our players or our coaches. All those things do or create distractions. The third thing is we want to graduate with an Albright College degree. And the fourth thing is we want to make a valuable contribution to society through community service and the impact that our players have on one another, and the impact that our coaches have on one another and on our players. So those are the program goals, and they will never change. Our season goals, they don't change either. They're progressive of 6 season goals. The first one is to survive camp. You can't do much else if you can't make it through camp healthy, or you don't make it out of camp. Second one is to win the opener. That's our full focus, is to be 1-0 against Ursinus on September 4th. After that, it's to be 1-0 every week. The way we look at it, we do not play one 10-game season. We play 10 one-week seasons, and it doesn't matter what happened the week before. It doesn't matter if we won or lost. On Sunday morning, that slate goes back to 0-0, and we're just playing to be 1-0 the following week. So our goal is to be 1-0 each week of the season. After that, it's to have a winning record. After that, it's to win the MAC championship. After that, it's to win the national championship. But again, it's kind of a pyramid, because if you don't do number one and survive camp, then those other ones are certainly less likely to be achieved. But really the way that we measure our success here at Albright is not as much in terms of wins and losses as it is in terms of reaching our full potential. We look at it like this: if each individual is absolutely committed to reaching his full potential as a person, as a student, as an athlete, the results in the field, they take care of themselves. So when I've got 140 guys, coaches and players that are absolutely committed to reaching their full potential, you don't have to focus, you don't have to worry about results. Results take care of themselves, and that's really our focus, is the process of daily improvement. Let's be a little bit better today than yesterday, a little bit better tomorrow than we were today. If we do that, everything else falls into line, and we don't have to worry about those other things. They just happen. Well, I think it certainly put us on the map. Certainly helped us in terms of name recognition, not just for the football program, but for the college as well. And there's a great benefit, all the publicity and the rankings and those things, those types of things. It also helps us in terms of recruiting because of that, because you get more exposure and your name's out there. The name is much more recognized after a run in the national playoffs that takes you all the way to the quarterfinals. So I think that's a positive, thing, certainly for the program, for the school, and for the conference. The MAC conference, one of the strongest Division III conferences in the country is last year. We demonstrated as we put 4 teams in the postseason, two teams to the NCAA tournament and 2 teams to an ECAC. And between the 4 teams that went to the postseason, the MAC won 5 postseason games last year. So I think it helps the conference as well, our success and the success of some of the other schools in the conference. I can never make a prediction of what our record's going to be, nor would I ever try. My number one goal is always this: be a team that reaches its full potential. And I don't know what that means right now. I certainly have some ideas based on who's returning and the talent that we have, but some years reaching your full potential means going 15-0. Other years reaching your full potential might mean going 7-3. It kind of depends on the makeup of your squad and the chemistry and things like this. Here's what I believe: if we can come together as a team in camp, and if some key guys step up, who I believe have the potential to step up at certain positions, then I really think our full potential this year is very high. But it's tough to say right now until we get into football camp and I see what everybody looks like and how hard everyone worked over the summer. I have faith in our guys that they're well prepared, but you never know exactly what that means until you kind of get into the season and see what you're dealing with. But our expectations, as I said, are very high, and I think we have a lot of confidence, and hopefully everything can come together the way we've planned, to make that happen.